okay. So I'm feeling really rough at the moment. I'm really under the weather, but I really wanted to make this video. So I've been saving up all my energy to do this video, and I've written some notes. I've already published 2 Vlogmas videos. So the first one was a card making tutorial, and then just recently I've done a winter essentials video. This year I'm not well enough to do what I did last year for Vlogmas. So normally YouTubers at Vlogmas do a video for every day of Advent, which is not possible for me at all. So last year I did 12 days of Vlogmas and did 12 videos. But this year my ME is a lot worse, so I'm just doing a few videos, as many as I can feasibly do, and I just hope that people understand that I'm doing my best to join in with Vlogmas within my limitations. But I just wanted to talk about having a chronic illness at Christmas time, and I was going to share a list of coping tools, but I thought I'd actually just talk and share with you. And I can't talk about all chronic illnesses because I don't have them. I can only speak from my own experience of having ME. This video I just wanted to talk about having ME at Christmas time. So obviously around Christmas time you have more events going on, and when you have limited energy you need more time to rest and recover in between activities. So I find that this month of December requires a lot more planning. I have to know what events are going on so that I can ensure that I have days before that event to recover and days afterwards. And I have something called a daily plan, which I follow all year round, and basically that's a schedule for the day. So I follow that throughout Christmas. So as part of planning and preparing for Christmas, the week before Christmas I have a very low level restful week so that I'm able to participate in Christmas Day as much as possible, and also to enable me to enjoy Christmas. And so for Christmas I've got a plan, I've got the things that I'm going to do, and then in between that I've scheduled rest periods to allow me to recover in between those 2 main events. And I find you just got to keep your ME in check, so putting on a timer and using my activity management skills. So for example I have like a 20-30 minute rule, so I'll do an activity for 20-30 minutes and then take a break, and it's just listening to my body. So if I feel like I'm starting to struggle a little bit, I will just take a little bit of a break, and then that just allows me just to keep going, and then obviously plan rest days afterwards. And a few days after Christmas we've got quite a big event where I'm going to see family that I haven't seen for years, so I really want to be able to do that. So I'm just hoping that I'm going to be able to do that. And again, it's all about planning. So I've got Christmas Day, and then I've got a few days to do very little, and then I've got this big event to meet my cousins. So it's all about planning and just listening to your body and just keeping your ME in check. And I'm sure that goes for other chronic illnesses and disabilities as well. And then I have something called the feeling of missing out. So rather than the fear of missing out, because when you have ME, especially the more severe form of ME like myself, there's no fear about missing out because you know that you're missing out. So it's more a feeling of missing out. And at Christmas time, that's even more so because there's lots of parties and get-togethers that you can't attend. And for me, I'm housebound, so I can't go out to a party or event, or even if it's an event that's going on in the house, I might not be able to take part in it, or I might only be able to briefly say hello. One of the things that I find at Christmas is that when there's a party going on downstairs, I find it just too much. There's too many people and I can't stand the noise, and it's just too difficult. So I'm upstairs in bed with my noise cancelling earplugs and my noise cancelling headphones on, and the noise is just painful and it's flaring up my symptoms, and it's just really difficult. And there's almost that grief because you want to spend longer doing something. You want to play that game after eating Christmas dinner, but you're tired out from eating Christmas dinner and you have to take yourself to bed to rest. So there's that feeling of missing out because you are missing out, and sometimes you get that resentment towards your ME, but you can't do anything about it, and it's really difficult to come to terms with because you feel like you're battling with your ME, because your ME is saying one thing, but you as a person are wanting to do something else. But you have to listen to your ME to avoid that big crash. So there's a huge feeling of missing out because you have to decline so many things, and sometimes it can be hard for people to understand why you can't attend this, or why you're finding the noise too difficult to tolerate. And it can be hard for people to understand, and it can be hard to explain to people as well. And I find it helpful to have friends around me who we can relate to one another on the difficulties of Christmas and the feeling of missing out and things like that. And then the other thing that I find hard at this time of year, and I'll be completely honest about this, is I find New Year really hard, and I dread New Year because people are setting New Year's resolutions and kind of New Year, new start and things like that. But for me, I reflect on a year that's gone past, and especially this year, I'm already starting to reflect on the year that I've just had, in which my ME has gotten worse, and I've had a surgery that I'm desperately waiting for being cancelled, and not knowing when that surgery is going to happen. But I get quite down around this time of year because with the events, it's that kind of mask that you're putting on, pretending that you're enjoying yourself and that you're taking part and talking, but inside your ME still happening and you've got symptoms and pain and exhaustion and you just desperately just need to rest, and it's just that whole kind of pressure on your mental health at this time of year. And I find it does really affect my depression, and then obviously the toll that all this takes on my body and my ME. So for me, New Year is a reflection on a year that's gone by that's been really difficult, and knowing that I've got another difficult year ahead of me. And I really do struggle at this time of year. And I know that mental health does affect a lot of people at this time of year. But when I've spoken to my therapist, we've talked about trying to look at some of the positives that's happened over this past year. And even if it's just really small things, and I think as well for me is, since I've become ill with ME, I have so much more gratitude in my life, and I have more gratitude for the really small things. And I've kind of been reflecting on what's been positive this year, and I could very easily list a load of negative things, and yes, those negative things are there, but equally there's some positive things, like for example I've got a care package this year which I've been fighting for to get to for years, and I finally have it, and I have a really good PA and I have a really good social worker, and I've been given some equipment like my hospital profiling bed, which helps me so much. So it's, I think a really good exercise to do is to get a piece of paper and a pen and write down what positives have happened this year, no matter how small they've been. And I think when you think of the positives of what's happened in the year, it helps balance out the negatives and the positives, and it brings a bit more of an evenness, and that can really help that grief about the year, because it's not a year that's just been full of negatives. And yes, that doesn't take away the fact that you've got another year ahead of you where you've got ME and full of challenges, because unfortunately there's probably not going to be a cure for ME next year, and it can be really difficult to think, oh, next year I'm still going to have ME, I'm still going to really struggle, I'm still going to really have to fight every single day just to get through the day. So I think if you are struggling with your mental health at this time of year, reach out to people, speak to your doctor or a family member or a friend, or even a helpline, and I'll list below a couple of helplines that you can contact in the description box below. But I don't want to end this video on the difficulties of ME at Christmas time, but really try and focus on the positives and plan some really nice things, whatever you're able to do within the limitations that your ME poses for you. One positive that I really want to share with you, and I want to thank you, is one of my goals was to get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year, and I've exceeded that, and I am so proud of myself, because this YouTube channel is really difficult to do with having severe ME, but every time I get a new subscriber, it really motivates me to keep going with this channel. I'd love to hear from you for what videos you'd like to see me make next year, and if you haven't already subscribed and would like to keep up with videos and see what new videos I put up, then please do subscribe. And just thank you for listening to this really rambly video. It's going to take me ages to edit, so I'll stop there. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll say bye for now and hopefully see you in the next video.